Was this movie aloof? Let's hear from our guest tonight. Hey everyone, welcome back to another fan review-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Wes.
And we are back with The Mandalorian and Grogu reviews from the fans. And Drew would push, but he's not here. So you're just stuck with me with no soundboard. But yes, so we wanted to help out our community a little bit by having them voice their opinions on the first Star Wars movie since 2019. So if you're watching this, it's only on YouTube exclusive, and we'll have a handful of those available. So if this is the first one you're looking at, go check out the other ones. It'll be a lot of fun to get some different perspectives. But right now we have Wes on tonight, and he goes by Aloof Circle in the Discord. So if you are new to us, join the Discord. But yeah, so let us know, like, how long have you been listening to Empire Radio?
Just over a year. I've been listening since April of 2025.
Fun. And then, take it you're a big Star Wars fan?
Yeah. I've even got it tattooed and everything. So yeah, I'm quite an advent.
Oh yeah, what kind of tattoo do you got?
I've got Luke's house from Tatooine on my, on my forearm.
That's an interesting tattoo. Cool. All right, well, we'll just jump into it, keep it simple. But first question I have is, what were your expectations going into this movie? Did you have high expectations? Do you think it was going to be a great movie, or did you have low expectations, like you thought it was going to be crappy, or where were you at?
Yeah, I'd say I was right in the middle. Kind of just from what I'd seen online, from other people talking about it. I think my biggest concern was kind of like it having a lot of stuff that didn't really make sense or tie into the Mandalorian, or having cameos that didn't really build to the story. And I know, like, Embo, for example, a lot of people are kind of like, I'd seen a lot of people bash that before seeing the movie, just as like he was a character from the Clone Wars that hadn't been seen in a while.
Right.
I personally thought it was like perfect for the story. So yeah, I kind of went in with low expectations, and then it exceeded expectations.
So why did you enjoy Embo so much? Like you said, it was just like a perfect fit. Like what?
I just think, like, story wise, like he fit in, like, with how, because I didn't know that the Hutts would be the main antagonists, I guess.
Right.
So and then in, like, the Clone Wars, him and like Cad Bane and the other bounty hunters had worked for the Hutts previously, so it kind of just made sense bringing them back. And then yeah, I don't know, it was nice seeing like a returning character that actually made sense in the story, instead of kind of just throwing them in there.
Right. I agree. I was at first in the movie, I was kind of like, he was just kind of there. He just captured him and brought him. But then the final fight, I really thought it did justice. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then, what was your overall review of the movie? As in, was this the way, or was this not the way for you?
I'd say it was the way. It definitely encaptured the feeling of like season 1 and season 2, where it was kind of like that Western gunslinger. And honestly, like the first hallway scene, where he's capturing the first Imperial target,
right,
I really liked, and that gave off like a lot of like Mando season 1. Yeah, I liked that it wasn't like necessarily like Grogu wasn't like a damsel in distress character, where he's like like they made Grogu kind of more competent and hashed out the fact that they've been doing this for a while. So yeah, I'd say it was the way.
Yeah, I liked how they, if you've listened to the podcast, I'm not a big fan of Grogu. I'm kind of over that gimmick, but I like that he wasn't like always having to be with Mando. Before, Mando and Grogu always had to be side by side, him protecting, but now he trusts Grogu to get the job done. It was pretty. I like that about the movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But next question: what was the best part of the movie, or your favorite part of the movie?
I'd say this was kind of hard because I liked a lot of the movie, so kind of trying to like narrow it down to one part. Um, like I mentioned, I really liked the hallway scene. For whatever reason, I liked also when they first show up on Shikara. I think like just like the soundtrack and stuff, and that like kind of like
Yeah, that song
techno.
is really making its rounds on interwebs.
Yeah, I like that, and then I liked like the salt. I think it was like a diner,
Yeah,
um, like the fight scene there. Yeah, just like a lot of like the choreographed scenes were good.
yeah, definitely. And then, what was your the worst part of the movie, or your least favorite part of the movie?
Um, I'd I'd probably have to go with like when they're initially trying to break. Um, oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Rada Hut out, and kind of just like the reoccurrence of him like having to establish that he's not Jabba. It kind of felt a
Right,
little redundant, but I mean,
right,
yeah, I don't know if that's like the worst part of the movie, then it's not bad.
right. Next question is: was there anything you wished we got more of in the movie?
I was actually saying to my buddy, just because I'm like used to the Mandalorian stuff, if it's not, I kind of wish it was a longer movie, just because it was like the
Right,
last piece of media. I was kind of hoping to see like like Mando's actual guild though. Like I thought maybe we'd see the armor.
right.
Um, yeah, I thought maybe they'd kind of pop in or something, but yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people were hoping there were other Mandalorians, but like it's a movie centered on a specific two characters, so they didn't want to like divert too much attention away, I guess. But
yeah, which makes sense.
yeah, definitely. Um, the next question: what were your theories as the movie progressed? So obviously, when we watch TV shows, movies, we get new details, blah blah blah, and then we try to figure out what's going to happen, how it's going to conclude. So, what were you thinking as the movie was going? What was going to happen?
Um, I'll say they definitely got me after Mando got bit, and they show the Grogu and the other little mechanics flying off. I definitely thought he was gonna like die there. I was like, oh wow.
Oh dang!
Um, just I don't know, just because of like the build up with like the soundtrack and stuff. I was like, this is like definitely giving off the vibes that he's gonna kick the can. And then it was cool to see Grogu pop back in. Um, I did, yeah. I kind of almost thought Rob was playing Mando at first, and then like he was gonna go back and it was gonna be him and the twins, and like he had played them out of money and then like ended up using them.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I definitely knew that the Huts weren't up to any good.
All right, they never are. um, so the twins they kind of alluded that at some point Mando is going to die and Grogu's going to be on his own. Do you
Mhm.
think we'll ever see Din Djarin die, either in another show or in a Thrawn movie we're supposed to get someday?
Yeah. I've definitely like I kind of expected that to be how they finished Mandalorian, and like Grogu would go back with like Ahsoka and Luke and be with them up until episode 7. But yeah, I kind of did have expectations of Din Djarin kind of having like a last stand kind of ending to the movie where it's like a firefight or something, and he
Right.
ends up going down. But I mean, he is also a super big character in Star Wars right now, so they'd probably want to be super careful with how they end his
Yeah.
his character's
His
story.
face is the moneymaker right
Yeah.
now. All right, next question. Did you like Rada the Hutt as a character and his story in this film?
Yeah, I'd say I did. I remember seeing the trailers, and him being like a gladiator, and kind of wondering like, oh, how are they gonna make the movement work? Because he's essentially a big
Right.
slug, and I like that. I thought Jeremy Allen White was pretty good. I mean, I thought it was kind of unique because he one speaks a lot more like English, or I guess it's I forget
Basic.
what they call it in the Star Wars galaxy, but he speaks like he doesn't speak a lot of Hadís, and then he also like doesn't have as deep of a voice as the twins or Jabba. So I thought it was kind of interesting how like he's he's trying to be like a softer Hut in a way, and then like his characteristics are also kind of a softer manner. So I did like that they kind of made him unique.
And did you like that he was opposed to the Hutt crime syndicate and wanted to like not be part of it?
Um, yeah, I think it maybe would have if we had seen him in like other media and he was like struggling with being in the syndicate and something and it like built up to that. It maybe would have had like more um not effect, but like would have had more significance. But because he was kind of introduced and he had done his own thing on the side since the Clone Wars, it wasn't like as like hashed out, I suppose. But yeah, I liked it, and I think it's cool that he kind of ended up joining the New Republic there at the end.
Yeah. Um, and so the big question that a lot of people have is, has the Hutt crime syndicate officially come to an end after thousands of years?
Um, yeah, I think what's kind of cool with that is since they did leave Rada alive, maybe something happens down the line where he gets mad or I don't know, he's doing something for the New Republic and something goes sideways and maybe he reverts to bringing the syndicate back. I mean, I think because it's not like a primary focus in the new media like the last three movies or anything. I'd assume that it's kind of done unless someone who's not a Hut starts it up or takes over and just carries the name. But yeah, I'd assume that the Hut syndicate's done for.
All right, so that's the last of the questions I have for you. But if there was another topic or two you want to discuss, you can bring that up right now, and we'll finish off with that.
Yeah. I enjoyed that like they brought back Embo and they ended up, they made him look cool. He had some cool scenes. And they didn't kill him, so they can continue to use him. I feel like with a character like Embo though, where he's kind of like less known, it does make more sense like if he makes sense in the story kind of thing. And like not just throwing him out into random media just because they like kind of have the character to play with. So I hope, yeah, if we do see him, it makes sense to the story. Um, yeah, and I think also I really enjoyed the fact like the scenes with Grogu kind of taking care of Mando, just because it um, showed that he was actually like capable of kind of operating by himself. I like that he kind of made like his own little Yoda hut.
Yeah,
Maybe that's something that like that species lives in on their home planet
yeah,
because it seems to be the go to architectural design.
yep. Most planets have mud, so they can live anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Embo, yeah, like you're saying, it's like they didn't use a lot of them. They didn't overuse them, but it'd be interesting to see. If they've made that character model to see if they bring him back for anything. Because I think in some like random like reference book or something, like, he's still alive during the sequel trilogy. So
Okay.
I knew
Nice.
he wasn't gonna die, but like it'd be cool to see what other things he has to offer the galaxy in the coming decades of until the sequel trilogy or so. But
Yeah, exactly.
all right, well, fun. Well, thank you, Wes, for joining us. And if you're watching on YouTube, like I said, there's some other fan reviews that we have, so go check those out. And if also you're discovering us for the first time, we got like over 350 episodes. So go check us out on YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. You can go in the link in the description and click that and check us out for all of our other random things, whether it's TV show breakdowns or top fives or book reviews. We do all kinds of stuff. All right. Well, you've been listening to another fan review-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Wes.
And may the Force be with you.